Love between humans is just not easy, and without great examples or education about emotions, communication, sex, and what keeps love alive, it's too easy to be disheartened, settle, or give up on what you want most. I believe you can have the love and intimacy you want. And having coached thousands of people on their love lives for over 20 years, I know what love can be for you. So I'm bringing you people who share vulnerably about their dating and relationship struggles and how they learn to create the most connected, fulfilling, and exciting love and sex of their lives, so you can have it too. If you haven't yet taken the quiz to see what keeps you from having the best love and sex of your life, go to shanajamescoaching.com/quiz. You'll get a personalized report of your strengths and challenges in the 5 crucial areas that lead to your most fulfilling and exciting love and sex life. Go to shanajamescoaching.com/quiz to find out. Hello, and welcome to this episode of Practicing Love. I'm your host, Shana James, and I'm excited to have a conversation today about something that is probably one of the most vulnerable topics to talk about. I actually had a conversation recently with someone who said that people are more likely to talk about sex than they are to talk about money, which I realized could actually be true, right? If we're dating someone new or we're in a new relationship dynamic, we might have sex with someone before we actually have money conversations. And some of us never have honest money conversations or in-depth money conversations. So I am very excited today to bring in Adam Koren, the author of Gentle Money. Welcome, Adam.
Thank you.
Adam has been a money coach for a decade, and we've known each other probably for almost 20 years at this point. And I've always appreciated the depth of your heart and to be present and loving and attuned, and also bring in the more concrete aspects of things like money. So thank you for being here, and thank you for, I love the title, Gentle Money. It feels like exactly what I need. And I'm imagining that there are, men and people listening who money doesn't always feel so gentle. So thank you for bringing the gentleness to it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, maybe that's the place to start is with that title and what does that mean, particularly for men, where money is, we typically think of it as hard, as the not being soft, not being gentle. What does that even mean? So what I want to share with people is that we tend to be hard on ourselves with money.
Yeah.
Most people, at least people I meet, are not totally where they want to be with their financial lives.
Yeah.
With whatever their goals are. And the thing that I wish more people stop to think about is that, so we get no training in how to deal with our finances. Most of us grew up in environments where we didn't talk about money. It's obviously super important. It's all around us. Yeah. It's the context for so many things. But to not talk about it is just weird. Because it's
it also reminds me of the similarity between sex and relationships, right? It's like nobody teaches us how to do this. Some of the most important things in life, we are just left to learn on our own.
Exactly. And similar to sex, we're just expected to know what we're doing and to be good at it. Yeah. And is terrible as a model that porn is for men with sex. It's at least a model where money, well, I guess our culture's weirdness about money and celebrity and all of that, I guess that's maybe, it's this kind of twisted, distorted funhouse mirror version of money and how to do it. Yeah. I never saw it that way. That's interesting.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. Okay, so what I wanted to say about gentleness is that despite our coming into being adults, most of us are not well equipped to handle our finances well. But so that's hard on its own. But for
Yeah.
whatever reason, just about everyone I've ever talked with about money, which is a lot of people now, has this expectation of themselves. I should know what I'm doing with my finances because I'm an adult.
Yeah.
So I just really would love for people to stop and think about that and go like, oh yeah, there's no reason I should already be good at it. Like there can be just such a weight lifted off with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And the more the weight's lifted off, I imagine you can say from your experience working with people, but less weight means there's more playfulness, more creativity, more
Mm-hmm.
I can, go outside the box. I can ask for help, all these different things.
Yeah, exactly. And I can learn. If
Yeah.
there's something I need to know, I can just learn it. Like there's so much mystique about finances, particularly for like my specialty has been people who don't like dealing with their finances. So
Yeah.
those folks just often just feel really alienated by that world and just would rather do anything else. So
Yeah.
yeah, so the barrier to learning goes down. Like as shame goes down, our brains come back online, and then
Totally.
like
Yes.
whatever our natural gifts are, whatever we're curious about, like we can
Yeah.
just like play and explore and learn and handle uh, with more ease.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And since most people haven't read the book,
Mm-hmm.
as we're diving in, can you give a sense of, either a quick summary or a quick, like, what are you really hoping that people take away from
Mm-hmm.
this?
Yeah, good question. I'm hoping people take away a sense of like I've just been saying, there's no reason I should already be good at it, and
Mm-hmm.
I can do this. I can figure it out, and I can any shame that I might have around finances, I can let go of that,
Yeah.
and start to really just get this area of my life handled and under control, and like so that I can focus on things I'd rather be focused on.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah,
possible. You're saying like it's possible to
totally.
really have this under control and it doesn't
Yeah,
have to be a grind.
yeah, yeah. I think it doesn't take as much work as people are afraid that it will. It
Say
takes
more
some
about
work.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it takes some work. It takes some attention, some leaning into it, especially if
Hmm.
it's an area that you don't like dealing with. But it's not as hard as you might think, and the rewards are huge. Like just the peace of mind, the ease, the like when our money stuff is handled, like it just there's a basic sense of safety that
Yeah.
offers,
Yeah.
and when we don't have that, there's just a little more tension in the
You're carrying
background.
around all the time in the background.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you say handled, because
Hmm.
people are at different ranges, right? Some people have more
Yeah.
than enough money, but they're afraid they're going to lose it. Other people have not enough
Hmm.
money and it's how do I navigate this? And other people have just enough, right? Like what is handled in these different
Hmm.
situations, or is it the same?
Yeah. I would define handled as off your mind.
Amazing.
So
Like it
whatever
can
that is
actually
for
be
you. Yeah.
out of mind.
Yeah. I mean, what I mean more specifically is like to speak for myself, to have it in a place where I've paid enough attention to it
Yeah.
such that when I'm just doing other things in life, it's not yapping at me in the background of like, hey, you haven't attended to your basic safety
Yeah.
needs.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to keep yapping at you because like it's fundamental.
Yeah. I used to
Yeah.
do math in my head like very often, right? Where I'd add up, okay, how much money am I making this month? How much money do I need? Is it, and I've definitely been working with that this year as we talked about a little bit, but I know what you mean by that yapping in the background and it takes a lot of energy.
Right. Right. It saps
Yes.
energy from us. So if we can kind of turn to that yapping voice and engage with it and go like, okay, I'm feeling some sense of being riled up here. Like, what do I need to do? Do I like?
Yeah.
So let's say somebody is maxing out their credit cards. Like, all right, is this a matter of income or spending? Like, what do I need to address here? Like, something needs to, if something needs to change,
Mm-hmm.
What needs to change, and and how am I going to do that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Great.
Not easy. But like at
No.
least it's like it's taking the main thing and putting it in front of us and dealing with it. Yeah.
Rather than running away or, getting stuck in fear.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
pretending that it doesn't matter. And that's the thing that I've been really dealing with. So I in my growing up in my 20s, like I just didn't focus on money very much. Like the becoming a money coach would have been such a crazy idea for me 20 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I was not interested. I'd never read the Wall Street Journal or anything like that. My background's not in finance.
Yeah.
My background is all personal growth and development, coaching,
Yeah.
transformation. That's the stuff I love.
Mm-hmm.
And so I totally got into this kind of by accident. And the thing that now that I've been doing it a long time, the thing that I now see about all that is I was pretending I don't need money.
Uh-huh.
My shtick was like, I'll just make enough to get by
Yeah.
and I'll be fine with that. I'll be frugal. And that was my particular thing.
Yeah.
And I just realized a couple of years ago, I've been pretending I don't need money. I need money.
Yeah.
A lot of the things I want, they cost money.
Cost money. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that one realization has been working me from the inside and
Uh,
kind of reshifting how I orient my whole life, my whole work, my income. Like I was previously going down one track based on where I ended up, similar to my dad in some ways.
can you
And
give us a sense of
but
like
it
concretely, like what do you mean by one track and what's the new track?
yes, the default old track was the frugal. I'll just I'll get by on a little bit,
Yeah.
and the new track is uh, I want and need more money,
Mm.
and that's a new track, and I don't have that track laid down yet, but it
Yeah.
feels like it's beginning to build.
Yeah. So once you saw, oh, this is the track I'm on, and it's actually not the track I want to be on, what
Mm-hmm.
did you do?
Mm. Yeah, this is 2 years ago, and it's not a question of doing, it's more a question of just kind of living from that question of, okay, what does it mean to need money, and and
Okay.
and how do I approach income differently? And
So
that's been a
no,
slow kind of, yeah.
yeah. So no doing or no action changes. It sounds like it started with the question and continuing to ask yourself the question. But I
Mhm.
imagine, I mean, are there career shifts or are there uh, different ways that you're now looking to make more money or,
Mhm.
right? What's the concrete impact?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for me personally, it's led to some really deep reflection on how I approach marketing as a business owner,
Okay.
and like what's my business model. um does what I'm doing make sense? Like, yeah, I've just been asking some big questions, and I've been just letting that new insight really work me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I imagine for some people listening, they're like, what? I don't get it. What do you mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
So I think that's where I'm just trying to figure out like, okay, how do we help people understand what that actually means that it's working you?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, given that I've been barely getting by, that's the track that I've been on,
Okay.
making just enough. And and so the new track is making more money, doing it differently, like
Yeah.
letting money actually matter to me personally. And so, yeah, that has meant working with my coach on this, doing some deep inner reflection about career stuff and how I approach income. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And like, what would the book tell you to do? Is
Mm.
there, again, is it like there's an action plan in the book, or this is more reflection and understanding your relationship with money?
Yeah, this is kind of the deep inner reflection aspect,
Okay.
and one thing that I would love for everyone to do is to kind of stop and look back at, am I on the track that was laid down for me through how I grew up?
Hmm.
Am I is how I'm doing money similar to one or both of my parents, or is it completely like in rebellion against
Uh-huh.
that?
Yeah.
So just want to offer that kind of inquiry. So I love that I'm not for the rest of my life going to live down that same default track that I
Yeah.
somehow inherited without any consciousness, any choice. And then in the book, there's a ton of much more practical. There's a lot of the mindset stuff, and then there's a lot of like, all right, how do you deal with student loans? How do you deal with a big purchase?
Yeah.
If you're getting an inheritance, what's a way of approaching that where we're being gentle with ourselves and handling it?
Yeah. Great. And I know before we started talking, you said you wanted to maybe take a deeper dive or you know, reveal some of the things that are
Mm-hmm.
going on for you. I know that's kind of where we're heading. Are there more things that you wanted to talk about?
Well, yeah, I guess so I shared about one big inner piece in terms of this laying down of new track around needing money. The other related piece that I'd like to share is I realized that in my particular family system growing up, what I decided very young is that
Yeah.
I only get a little bit. And I realized this came from such a deep love of
Yeah.
my family, of my mom in particular. And I saw the stress that was happening. And from my little 2 or 3 year old brain, I was like, how can I fit in here? What can I offer?
Yeah.
And uh, the possibility of being not a drain, not a stressor, an additional stressor in the system,
Yep.
was what my 2 or 3 year old little self decided to
Came
do.
up with. Hmm.
Yeah. And when I really get present to the heart behind that, it's moving for me.
Yeah.
And that's that has also been a huge part of like living a life where where I think I only get a little bit, because
Yeah.
that was the what I was believing was what was true for me and what I deserved. What Yeah,
Right. That strategy then became just what is and how the world
exactly.
works. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is much more personal than I normally share in a podcast interview like this. But I'm wanting to be this revealing, um, to be human, to be
Yeah.
just to be a to be an example of someone doing deep inner work, and the
Yeah.
way that is opening up new possibilities for me.
Yeah. I'm so grateful that you are opening up. And, I can look back at my own money stories, and I have been very frugal in my life.
Mm,
And interestingly, the grocery store was often the hardest
mm-hmm,
part for me. I've done a lot of work to be able to walk into a grocery store and not feel
mm,
panic. But in my younger days, it was like, and also the combination of money fear and body image issues, and like, what
mm,
could I actually eat and how much could I spend? And, I
mm-hmm,
have these memories of my dad being like, no, we don't buy that orange juice, even though it tastes better, because that one's $2 more than that orange juice.
mm-hmm.
And, and I
Yeah.
respect my dad. He's a successful businessman, owns his own business. And I know that some of his programming was created when his dad passed away and his mom didn't have very much money and his grandmother who
Mm.
helped raise him was a depression, baby. Like
Yeah.
all those things contribute more than we
Mm.
realize.
Yeah. I appreciate you sharing that. I actually
Yeah.
talk about food spending in the book.
You do?
Because in working with hundreds of people, food, like when someone's trying to spend less,
Hmm.
food is often the first place people look.
Yeah.
And what I have found in years of doing this work is that it's usually it usually turns out not to be the most effective place to cut
Interesting.
for a number of reasons. One is that we go to food first because there's so many food transactions. It's like the
Yeah.
most frequent transaction.
Yes.
So it's there's so many things that are just automatic bills that we just don't think about. Um, Even if they're large, like rent or mortgage or
Yeah.
whatever, or a car
But food
payment.
is the one we actually pay attention to, I would
Yeah,
think, every day.
yeah. Am I going to get the dessert? Am I going to get a medium or a large? Am I going to get organic? Yeah, there are all these little decisions. So so it's on our minds, but these decisions are usually very small, very small.
The
There's
impact is small in changing that.
exactly,
Hmm.
and the impact is large in our experience of life, our experience
Hmm.
of feeling okay, our experience of feeling nourished. So when we
Interesting.
cut there, we tend to get tight. We tend to like your dad was like, no, we can't do the nourishing thing because
Yeah.
it's $2 more.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, if we spend that $2 and look elsewhere for
Yeah.
where can we save 20 or $200
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
month, uh, in a way that isn't that doesn't cut to our experience of life.
Yeah. So interesting. As I think about that too, I mean, there is a huge difference, I think, in eating out spending versus cooking at home. I mean, that can be hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month, but
Mm-hmm,
the orange juice or paying an extra dollar or two for organic, I
mm-hmm,
can feel there's some money decision there, but a lot of it is fear
mm-hmm,
and, um, yeah, just the based in fear versus or scarcity and fear that it's going to run out.
mm-hmm.
And it sounds
Right.
like what you're saying is there's not a huge win there or a huge gain.
Usually, we're talking generally, but one recent example with a client I think might be useful. Um, when I asked this couple what was truly nourishing for them,
Yeah.
there were two or three categories each, and a food aspect was one of those categories. For
Mm.
one of them, it was hosting and
Yeah.
entertaining. So, in terms of a budget, that's like groceries. And
Yeah.
for the other, it was fine dining.
Mm.
It was like good restaurants. And so we protected those elements in their budget. And then there was another aspect of food, which
Yeah.
was DoorDash, was takeout. And they realized like that's a spot of convenience.
Yeah.
And that's actually a place we can cut that it'll be less convenient, it'll mean a little bit more effort and work, but that's a place where we can save a bunch of money where
Yeah.
it's not going to negatively affect our experience of life.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. I can see the difference too between something that's really nourishing. And I like, well, I'll say this first, something that's really nourishing and something that's convenience based.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that question. Like, what is actually nourishing to you? And are you spending money on what's actually nourishing to you versus what else?
Mm-hmm. Right, and just asking the question, what is truly nourishing for me, it
Yeah.
can be really powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What else feels important? What haven't we covered?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So before you hit record, we had talked about peace,
Mm.
how can someone listening to this experience more peace of mind when it
Yes.
comes to their finance? So I think first I just want to invite you, the person listening, uh, where are you at in terms of peace with your money? Is this like a burning thing that needs to be handled? Is it basically handled and you're just like curious you know, what this guy has to say? So so that's the first thing is like, does this area of your life need more attention?
Mhm.
And if it does, what kind of attention? Yeah. So um, I I personally have a practice of I do a weekly review of my money and I do a monthly review, and I have a
Nice.
really simple checklist for each of these, and all of this is in the book too under money habits.
Great.
And so even when my financial situation is tight, um, I'm always grateful that I do. I've done that every week for more than a decade. It's just just for me to be in integrity with my work, I need to
Yeah.
be practicing that, and I also just need it as a person in our culture where money is so central. So that gives me peace of mind, even when it's hard. I,
Yeah.
I'm always I'm always grateful that I did it.
That's so great. I will be honest and say that I've had like money check in on my calendar on
Hmm.
Mondays. It's like Money Mondays,
Yeah.
probably for years. And I do it
Yeah.
every once in a while, but
Uh-huh.
very rarely.
Hmm.
And actually just had an experience where, um, I realized that something wasn't being taken out of my account that should have been.
Mm.
And it was this wake up call of like, oh my God, I need to pay more attention. And also that I've been tracking, I look at my credit card and my bills and things, tracking to make sure there's nothing odd there or nothing that I didn't buy, but I
Hmm.
haven't necessarily been tracking for what should be there that isn't
Hmm.
there, that
Hmm.
then I might end up owing a lot of money later as a result.
Hmm. Hmm. Right. Yeah. I mean, that's great that you're tracking that. I mean, many people don't look at their transactions at all.
Yeah.
And sometimes we'll discover that they've been billed regularly for a fraudulent thing for a long time,
Yeah.
or they had an expensive subscription that they didn't realize they'd been billed for. So any kind of looking at our transactions is a win, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, and there are layers or levels of it. Like and like we don't need, like, it's not a necessary thing to look
Really?
at your finances. Yeah, I mean, it's like many people don't, and they're getting along just fine. They're getting along the way they're getting along. And so my point is, like, there can be such an energy of should and obligation, and I'm not a responsible person because I don't.
Yeah.
And I love to just remind people, you're an adult.
Hmm.
If you want to eat ice cream, you eat ice cream, right?
If you want to eat vegetables, you eat vegetables.
Yeah, if you want to eat vegetables, you eat vegetables. Like, it's up to you. And
Yeah.
there are, of course, consequences to both, but it's like you get to do whatever you want. And so there can be more peace of mind with looking at it regularly and just
Yeah.
knowing what's happening, and it can inform our making choices that feel really good to us.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. Well, I'm grateful for you for bringing a more gentle approach. I can feel how, with an approach that's more rigid or
Hmm.
more, I don't know, even more structured and intense, there's a part of me that just shies away and is like, oh, that feels scary.
Right, right,
And there may
right,
be some people who really jive with an approach like that, and that's fine. But for
right.
those who, similar to me, right, appreciate some more gentleness,
Yeah,
I'm glad that you're bringing it to us.
yeah. Thank you, Shayna.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the financial books out there are more in that, like, kick ass, like, get
Yeah.
them, like, be confident, you're a badass with money, like. and like you're saying, like that, I mean, those are the books that are out there. They work
Yeah.
for lots of people
For some
and
people.
for some people. And part of why I wrote this book was like, hey, I think, I mean, based on all the work that I've done, like there are people who like need a different approach, who would never
Yeah.
see a financial advisor.
Yeah. And
Like,
speaking to men, right? That I think
mm-hmm,
some men would feel
yeah,
ashamed. Oh, I need this more gentle, but let's, right, take that out of the shame, blame, whatever. It's like we all need different experiences.
mm-hmm.
Sometimes gentle is the way to go.
Yeah, and I think just avoiding, like, there may not even be a conscious sense of shame. It's more
Yeah.
just like I don't go there, or
Yes. Good point.
I do it in this particular limited way.
Yep.
There's something in the financial realm that I can't be with, I can't
Yeah.
handle, and so I just do it this way.
Yep.
Um, I had a former partner who made a ton of money, and part of her reasoning was she didn't like dealing with her money, so she just figured if she made a lot of it, just
She
wouldn't,
wouldn't have to.
she wouldn't have to.
Hmm.
So that's a fine strategy, but there's more peace available through slowing down, softening, and taking a look. What is that scary monster under the bed
Hmm.
there?
Hmm.
and
Awesome.
and especially for men, we really don't have to do this alone. Like,
Yeah.
it's really okay to talk with someone about it, to talk with a friend or a family member or a professional or a
Yeah.
partner, like whoever you feel comfortable with. The more we can get out of that scary place and just into talking about it like we would talk about anything else, like there's just a lot more freedom available there.
Yes, and it reminds me, I have a someone in my life who's older, my parents' generation, who's going through Alzheimer's, and
Mm,
that basically just got a test back that's like, oh, it's too late to do the intervention that would have been possible.
mm,
And it broke my heart because I had that understanding that many men do not go to the doctor because
mm-hmm,
of pride, right? Or do
right.
not get regular checkups. And this feels similar where it's like, do it before there's a disaster, or do it before there's some huge issue,
Mm-hmm,
right?
yeah,
It's hard sometimes to reach out and there can be shame and embarrassment, but it's going to be a lot easier the sooner you do it.
yeah, true. We can summon our courage. We can summon our allies, our buddies, our, like, whatever you call on to face hard things. Like, we can do hard things, and this can be a hard thing to really
Yeah.
face what's going on with our finances. It can be intense, it can be scary. Like, money stuff can be grippy on our mind and just
Hmm.
our whole experience of life.
Yeah.
And yeah, it takes courage, but we can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I relate to that grippy. It's like there are times where something would be enjoyable if I wasn't thinking about
Yeah,
the money or worried about the
right.
money. And it's,
Totally.
yeah, so
How much it
painful.
costs, or right. Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for doing this and for writing this book. And where can people get it and find you?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Yeah, so you can find Gentle Money on Amazon, and you can find me. My website is my name, adamkoren.com, Koren, and I'm on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you joined us for today's episode of Practicing Love. I hope you enjoyed our conversation and gained insight into yourself and your current and past relationships and inspiration for what's possible. If you like what you heard, I'd be so grateful for you to subscribe and write a quick review to help people find us. If you'd like more support in your love life, be sure to get your free copy of my best-selling book, Honest Sex, at shanajamescoaching.com/free. That's shanajamescoaching.com/free. And we'll see you next time.